the fact that Schiff hasn't blinked since 1992. And he didn't take the news so well. The disgraced Democrat went on TikTok to complain. Behold.
Hello, I'm Congressman Adam Schiff with some troubling news. Today, Kevin McCarthy removed me from the House Intelligence Committee, all for doing my job, for holding Trump accountable and standing up to the extreme MAGA Republicans.
Senator Schiff, given the ongoing political tensions and Trump's actions toward his critics, do you think President Biden's preemptive pardons turned out to be more important than initially expected? Let's first tell people what that means, preemptive pardons. That was pretty unprecedented, right? Before he left office, Joe Biden pardoned you and a number of people who he thought Trump would go after.
No, I take the opposite view. I don't think he should have given the pardons at all.
Really?
No, I don't think he should have, and I was vocal about that at the time.
Can you refuse a pardon?
That's less clear because in the case of the January 6th committee, he pardoned essentially the whole committee.
You know, there's a certain breed of politician who just won't go away. No matter how many scandals pile up, no matter how many times they get caught playing fast and loose with the truth, they just keep resurfacing, like political cockroaches. And Adam Schiff, he's leading that parade. But here's the twist, people are finally catching on. Bill Maher, a guy who's no MAGA warrior, just grilled Schiff on live TV. And Greg Gutfeld, he went nuclear. This wasn't just a roast, it was a full-blown demolition of a political career that was built on smoke, mirrors, and a whole lot of shameless grandstanding. And trust me, you're gonna want to hear this. So hit that subscribe button if you're tired of watching politicians lie with a straight face and get rewarded for it. Let's dive into how the zombie-eyed congressman became public enemy number one.
Let's stop talking about Trump. We talk about him too much. We want to tell people what we're going to do for them. Yeah. Healthcare, environment, those kind of issues. For example, I've seen you on TV a lot in the last couple of years. I know everything you know, or that you tell us, about the Russian situation. I don't have a clue what you think about healthcare. I've never heard it. Yeah. I don't know whether you're for Medicare for all, or improve Obamacare, or get a chicken. I don't know what. Yeah. Well, I don't know what.
Not to Republicans, but to everyone who still gives a damn about honesty in politics. Let's start with the pity party Schiff threw for himself on TikTok. Yep, TikTok, the same platform run by the Chinese government that lawmakers constantly warn us about. But apparently it's the perfect stage for Adam Schiff to cry about being removed from the House Intelligence Committee. In his best "I'm totally the victim here" voice, Schiff said, "All for doing my job, for holding Trump accountable and standing up to the extreme MAGA Republicans. Give me a break." That's not why you got booted, Adam. You got the axe because you spent years selling the country a story that turned out to be total fiction. Russian collusion, remember that? Schiff swore up and down he had evidence of Trump conspiring with the Kremlin. He said it so many times, he probably believed it himself. But here's the problem, he never produced that evidence, not once. It was all political theater, and when the curtain finally dropped, it was clear. The entire performance was based on lies.
Adam Schiff is not only a stone-cold, hopeless loser, but he is one of the most corrupt, one of the most shameful, one of the most heinous individuals ever to serve in public office in America. And everything he's devoted his life to has been debunked, discredited, and discarded. He literally represents the face of failure.
And yet, instead of owning up to it, Schiff went full gaslight. "I'm being punished for standing up to Trump." No, dude, you're being held accountable for misleading the entire country. There's a difference. And Bill Maher, he wasn't having it. Now, Maher's not exactly known for being soft on Trump either, but he is known for calling out BS, no matter where it comes from. And when Schiff sat down with him, Maher dropped the hammer. He straight up told Schiff, "I've heard you talk about Trump and Russia for years, but I've never heard you say anything about healthcare or what you're actually doing for Americans." Ouch.
Now it just looks like you're stalking him. I think in the eyes of the people who don't follow it that closely, which is most of the country, here's the thing about Bob Mueller. He's like the last person, maybe the last thing in America that left and right agreed on. Left and right basically agreed. This is a guy of honor. This is an honest guy. This is an honest broker. Whatever he says goes. Americans are not into details. Don't read it to me, Bob. Just give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down. The fact that he was like, I don't. If you couldn't impeach before, how are you going to impeach after?
Maher basically exposed what we've all been thinking. Adam Schiff has no real accomplishments, no legislative wins, no concrete policies, just years of obsessing over impeachment like a deranged Reddit poster who thinks every shadow is a deep state conspiracy. And while Schiff was busy pushing his impeachment fantasies,
I mean, the Mueller report is, at the end of the day, that firecracker that goes up and then the one that fizzles. Oh, look, nothing. Do you think you guys relied too much on that?
real problems were happening. You remember early 2020? Yeah. While COVID was silently creeping into the US, Schiff and his buddies were still obsessing over Trump, throwing the country into yet another round of hearings that went absolutely nowhere. Greg Gutfeld didn't let that slide either. He went savage.
But something's got to be done for Adam Schiff, because he created 3 years of a massive fallacy that did so much damage to this country and made us miss probably one of the most important stories of our lifetime. We were having hearings on impeachment while the coronavirus was exploding. We talked about that virus in green rooms, but we had to do this impeachment story. We had to show these hearings. It's all on him, man. He's got to go. They got to investigate him. They got to hold him accountable. I'm not going to say he should go to prison, but my evil twin will say he should go away to prison for a very long time.
Pointed out how Schiff's fixation on impeachment actually distracted the government and the media from preparing for one of the worst health crises in modern history. People were getting sick, hospitals were being overwhelmed, and Schiff was out here pushing the same dead-end narrative like a broken record. Gutfeld even joked that his evil twin thinks Schiff should go to prison. Now, was it a joke? Kinda. But the frustration behind it, totally real. And here's the thing, you don't need to be a Trump fan to see how dangerous it is when politicians use their power to lie to the public just to score political points. Schiff didn't just waste time, he wasted trust. He weaponized his committee chair to attack his enemies under the guise of intelligence oversight, and when it all blew up in his face, he pivoted to victimhood like it was an Olympic sport. But it gets worse. After being booted from the Intelligence Committee, what does Schiff do next? He announces he's running for Senate. That's right, he wants a promotion. He released a slick political ad, polished, dramatic, complete with all the predictable cliches about protecting democracy and fighting extremism, all while ignoring the elephant in the room, his own record of deception.
Congressman Adam Schiff announced this morning he's running for U.S. Senate in California, which is guaranteed to boost U-Haul rentals headed for Texas. He unveiled the highly polished and produced political ad right on the heels of getting booted from the House Intel Committee. Coincidence? I think.
Bill Maher, again, saw right through it. Maher brought up the growing frustration from voters, especially in places like California, where people are tired of leaders who talk a big game but deliver nothing. Schiff's Senate campaign is built on the same tired playbook: bash Trump, invoke democracy, sidestep every real issue. When Maher challenged Schiff on where he stood on cultural hot-button issues, like men competing in women's sports, Schiff tiptoed like a ballerina on a minefield. He wouldn't commit, wouldn't give a straight answer, just another politician too scared to say what he really believes.
The Atlantic put out an article last year, and it was called "Separating Sports by Sex Doesn't Make Sense." Right. And talked about how we separate sports like the WNBA just because it's just socialization. This is insane.
I agree.
Okay. That's why people vote for Trump. Because there's stuff like that on the left that people just go, I know Trump's horrible, but separating sports by sex makes perfect sense.
And that's the problem. People are done with vague, spineless answers. Whether you agree or disagree with a policy, at least have the backbone to say what you stand for. Schiff's constant dodging. It's not strategy, it's cowardice. Even worse, Schiff's hypocrisy doesn't stop at dodging questions. When a judge got arrested for helping an illegal immigrant evade ICE, Schiff suddenly had no comment, claimed he didn't know enough to speak on it. Seriously?
What, did you read about the judge today that was arrested by, it's such a new story. I didn't want to bring it up during the show because I don't know enough about it, but there was a judge in Milwaukee. I guess it was a hearing for an illegal immigrant, definitely an illegal immigrant. And the ICE people came in to arrest this person, and apparently the judge spirited the person out the back door. That's what I read. Don't know if it's true because I don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
until I do a full vetting of it. But if this is and so the FBI came in and arrested the judge. Now, I haven't heard that, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever read arrested a judge. So is this significant?
Well, I think
I'm not going to comment on something I don't know more about than what you've just told me.
You read about it too.
Yeah, I mean, I read about it, but I don't know.
So you don't trust anything either, and you work for the New York Times.
Well,
This is the same guy who chased down every half-baked story about Trump with laser focus, but now he's suddenly clueless when it involves immigration and law enforcement? You can't have it both ways. You can't be the self-proclaimed defender of justice and then look the other way when your side screws up. That's not justice, that's politics, and Americans are sick of it. Let's talk about Schiff's censure. The House officially censured him for promoting the fake Trump-Russia collusion hoax. That makes him only the 26th member in US history to earn that dishonor, and he still didn't blink. Literally. People joke that Schiff hasn't blinked since 1992, and honestly, after watching his robotic delivery and dead-eyed TikTok rants, I believe it. But here's what matters. It wasn't just the censure, it was the symbolism. This was Washington finally saying, enough. Enough lies. Enough political theater. Enough of the smug, self-righteous posturing from a guy who's done nothing to help everyday Americans.
Just pop their dentures when Schiff finally gets censored. And so the House condemns the lies of the man with the zombie eye. Last night, the House voted on party lines to censure Adam Schiff for promoting the Trump-Russia collusion hoax, which was as believable as Brian Kilmeade getting fan mail. 2 for 2. Schiff becomes only the 26th member ever to be censured, but to his credit, he's still the only member to have a 12-inch.
What has Schiff done to fix inflation? To address the border crisis? To lower the cost of living in California, where everything from gas to groceries is off the charts? Nothing. Not a damn thing. He's too busy chasing ghosts and crafting sound bites for MSNBC. So when Greg Gutfeld torched his Senate dreams on live TV, it wasn't just about mocking the guy. It was a warning. Gutfeld made it clear, if this is the kind of leader you want, someone who lies, deflects, and runs from every hard question, then vote for Schiff. But if you actually care about results, integrity, and real leadership, then it's time to leave the circus behind. And that's the truth, whether you lean left, right, or somewhere in between. The problem with Schiff isn't just that he lied, it's that he keeps lying and somehow thinks no one notices. But people are waking up, they're realizing that guys like him don't serve the country, they serve themselves. Let's not forget, Schiff literally ran with a fake dossier and turned it into a nationwide obsession. Then, when it was all proven bogus, he acted like it never happened. No apology, no accountability, just the next headline, the next speech, the next campaign. And now he's angling for a Senate seat. Californians should be insulted. This isn't leadership, it's manipulation. It's political ambition dressed up as public service. Schiff built his brand on outrage, not solutions. And now, the cracks are showing. From dodging cultural issues to spinning every consequence as persecution, Schiff has become the poster boy for everything people hate about Washington. And whether it's Bill Maher, Greg Gutfeld, or average voters across the country, the message is loud and clear. We see you, Adam, and we're done. So if you're tired of the lies, if you're tired of the circus, and if you think America deserves leaders who are honest, bold, and actually care about real people, not just headlines, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below. Do you think Adam Schiff deserves a Senate seat, or should he finally be held accountable for the damage he's done? Let's have that conversation, because the days of getting away with political theater are over. And for Schiff, the spotlight just turned into a microscope.